Hi everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health Daily Rambling, where I kind of go over what I've been doing the last past day or two. I know I haven't been doing these that frequently, but basically just kind of been not really doing much, and there's not much really to report or what's going on. Haven't really been playing any new games or whatnot. I did kind of finish Creeper World, which I know is that I mentioned before, that Tower Defense real-time strategy PC game, which I enjoyed a lot. Basically kind of beat that, and it unlocks a harder mode, but I wasn't in the mood to kind of play that. But I have been kind of watching a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm probably going to go over a couple of YouTube things. But other than that, really today it was kind of funny. I once again go to bed around like 6 or 7 and get woken up by people cutting the neighbor's lawn next door, which was kind of annoying, but hey, that's what it is. And that got me to thinking, hey, it's actually getting kind of nice out. Maybe I'll start doing some lawn work, which I should probably really get back to doing. But instead, I decided to just kind of walk around the house, and actually a couple of weeds have gotten like over like 2 feet. Some of them got up to 4 feet, like shoulder length high. It was kind of cool. So instead of like cutting them down, I just decided to kind of like just stomp them out. So I just kind of went around the house stomping out any weeds that maybe grew over 2 feet, just for appearances. I mean, when I went out later to go to Arby's for lunch, basically drove around the neighborhood. And there's a lot of worse lawns out there, so I'm not too concerned. But I guess if the weather starts kind of picking up, which I hopefully it will, maybe I'll like, actually get outside, get some fresh air, and get some work, some physical work in me. But other than that, let's go on to what I've been doing recently. Basically, on this YouTube thing, we got a guy here that basically did a bunch of kind of TV theme medleys that he kind of did together with himself. He kind of split these together really good, him being the guitar and the keyboard. And he basically goes through a bunch of classic, not old school classic, but like let's say contemporary classic TV theme tunes. In which case, here's Naruto. He also does Family Guy and a lot of other really kind of cool like niche geek centric kind of series. In which case, I recommend this. Is a good like 6-hour video. Give it a watch. I mean, just kind of search in the Google TV theme medley, and you'll catch this. It's a really good, entertaining piece, and the guy really does have some talent in what he does here, and it's really cool. Moving on here, I also want to mention I finished reading the Trigun manga, right up to all the way through Trigun Maximum 15. In which case, I like the manga, but I also kind of I put it on par with the anime series. They're both good. They both have their merits. Usually the manga is always better than the anime series, like Bleach or Naruto, because they don't have to worry about filler and crap. But I really like what they did with the Trigun manga. They did a really good job with it, and I like what they did with the Trigun anime, and I'll probably get back to watching the anime. Speaking of anime, I recently finished watching the Bakemonogatari Ari series, which is a classic Shaft production. Sayonara Sensei is another one of their classic pieces. I'm trying to think of other ones off the top of my head, but can't. In which case, it's really more style over substance. This is, of course, one of the openings I actually like a lot because it's kind of poppy and DDR-ish. Another classic opening they got here is this one, which a lot of people also love, this anime opening. The only problem I have with the anime series, like most Shaft productions, it has a lot of cutaways to where like they'll be talking, they'll be like, whatever scene, or it'll be text and, a lot of text overlays, and, it's hard to watch that fan sub, and it gets really annoying. As you can see right now, I'm going to kind of do a couple quick overlays, and this is kind of how disjointing watching this stuff is. Kind of it just gets annoying after a while. It's like, cut, read this, cut, read that. It's almost more or less for just the DVD pausing people to pause it and kind of get the nuances, but I just kind of find it annoying. But it's a nice little series to go through. I really can't really recommend it. It's not as funny as Sayonara Sensei. It's just one of those kind of style over substance pieces, and it was okay to watch, but I got all the time in the world, right? Moving on here, running with the anime theme, I watched the Evangelion 1.11 release, the HD rip of it. Watched it, of course, subtitled. What, of course, I've been waiting for on this is just because they keep releasing newer and newer versions of this stuff, that I've kind of waited it out, and since the second one really hasn't been released yet, and they finally settled on what's going to be the final 1.0 version, I decided to give this a watch, in which case I liked it. They do kind of cut out a lot because they're kind of streamlining it and getting to the core piece, but I enjoyed it, and I really recommend any type of anime fans definitely watch this, and even old Evangelion fans, it's worth a watch. It kind of goes through, up to Angel 6, doesn't really introduce Asuka yet, but it's still a really, really good series and good anime to watch, and, it's fun. I mean, it's Evangelion, one of the best anime series out there, which most people argue against, but you can't argue that it's one of the best ones out there and one of the most famous ones out there. In which case, is of course just another reason to do a bunch of byproducts for figures and stuff. Speaking of figures, I've actually kind of almost gone through all my regular figures, so that's why you see a box Sora here. There's a couple more box ones that I'll get to later. Moving on here, let's just go ahead and see Xbox Live real quick to see what everybody's doing. We got, of course, people watching videos and the ODST crowd running that, in which case I know they're still kind of traveling through that legendary thing. I have been, of course, playing Modern Warfare 2 and Divinity 2, kind of just plugging through those. And what I really need to get back to doing is some reviews. I've played a lot of games recently, and I need to actually get up to writing some reviews. But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.